Select Add My Name to the roster and fill out the information to add your name. Select the Projects tab to see the list of current projects. Then, select the project you would like to add to. Read the instructions and watch any videos as directed by your teacher. When you have finished your art project, select the plus icon. Select Take New Photo to take a picture of your artwork. If you see any shadows, move the artwork to a brighter area before taking a picture. You can focus the camera by tapping your artwork on the screen, then take the picture. Select Use Photo if you are happy with the picture you took. If not, select Retake to take a new picture. You can select the buttons in the lower left corner to toggle between cropping options. Crop out the background of your picture by moving the white circles to the corners of your artwork. Anything left outside the box will be cropped out of the picture. If your artwork is sideways or upside down, you can use the circle arrow button to rotate it. Select Next. Select the wand to auto-fix the brightness and contrast automatically, or you can select the sun icon to manually adjust the brightness and contrast of the artwork by moving the sliders to the left or right. You can select the gray raindrop icon to alternate between color and black and white. Select the blur icon if you need to blur out personal information, like your name. When you are happy with how your artwork looks, select Submit and wait for your artwork to upload. If you do not want to enter a title, select Skip. Otherwise, you can enter your title here. Then, select Submit. You can either skip your artist statement by selecting Skip or enter your statement here. If you need to take a break and come back to your statement later, select Save. When you have finished entering your statement, select Submit. Your artwork title and artist statement have now been submitted to your teacher for review. Select Home at the bottom of your screen. Here you can see your to-do list. This shows when your artwork is in review, needs to be edited, or has been approved by your teacher. To see your gallery and any comments that have been left by your fan club members, click the gallery icon at the bottom of the screen. If you are sharing a device, select Log Out at the top before passing it on to the next student.
All right, so that's how you basically submit your artwork. So again, if you can, just go to artsonia.com, type in this class code. If you can't do it right now, that's fine. Just make sure you have a copy of the class code here. And then you guys can log in. I made sure each of you were already added to the class. You'll just need to make sure that you can log in, and then you can start submitting your work. So let's kind of go over the class materials here on what we are going to be using. So with this class, it is going to be kind of drawing intensive. So pencils, any kind of pencils. I know I had a few links for some various type of pencils, but anything that would have a little bit of a range between 2H to 2B or a little bit darker. Basically, if you are ever questioning about what the H's or B's mean, H just means harder lead, which means that it draws lighter. And then the B's are a softer lead and it makes the mark is darker. So if you don't have that range, that's okay. Your typical mechanical pencil or number 2 pencil is usually an HB, which is perfect for both ranges. Otherwise, if you have like a graphite set or you'd like to purchase a graphite set, I highly encourage you to do so. Blick Art Materials, I used to work there, but they actually have a lot of different supplies for a very cheap price. So I would definitely check them out as well. And you can purchase this right online. For a sketchbook, 5 by 8, 9 by 12 is fine. If you're interested in the mixed media, I know the Canson XL mixed media is pretty good type of paper. Unfortunately, the sketchbook that I have, they stopped making this type of paper, but it was a mixed media because it can hold acrylic, it can hold watercolor, it can hold ink, marker, and not bleed through. That's the whole point of mixed media. So I do encourage you guys to do that because you guys may be working with ink, you may be working with acrylic paint. I don't want to hinder you on using whatever materials you have. If you have marker, permanent marker or something, that's perfectly fine. If you work in Sharpie, that's fine as well. A plastic eraser is always good, especially if you're using pencil. So any type of plastic eraser. I also included a pen set here, which is basically the micron pen set. You can use that. Any of these sizes would work. As you can see, the really skinny one, the .005, makes a very thin line. And then you can even get like the brush tips or like the chisel ends, which will give you a nice thick line. You do not have to get the full set. You can buy these individually, whatever you'd like to do. And then, of course, another type of paper would be just your regular drawing paper, as long as it can handle at least ink and pencil. That's all that matters. I did include other ones such as color pencils, soft and oil pastel sticks, watercolor paint, ink, acrylic. These are not necessary, but I do encourage you guys to use what you have available in front of you. Any questions on class materials? Okay, so just to kind of show you the materials that I have available, this is the type of plastic eraser that I have. As you can see, I use it a lot. Mechanical pencil, like I said, this is perfectly fine. This has an HB lead to it. This is a 0.7 lead, so any kind of mechanical pencil will work. With this guy, this is actually a pencil that is solid graphite, as you can see. So this is a stick of graphite. This little guy just kind of has a claw and it grabs it. So it's like kind of like a drafting pencil. I believe this is a 6B, so it's a lot darker. So you can kind of see how dark it goes compared to your standard pencil. So you can kind of see the difference with the lead. But that's what this guy is. You don't have to get him, but he's fun. I like using him. They make charcoal sticks like this too, so I have a charcoal set and a graphite set for this. Any kind of pencil sharpener for your pencil. I have a handheld one here, which is perfectly fine, or I have the Prismacolor one, which is a dual tip. So you guys can see here of the two different tips and what you can get. And then I have a couple different pens. So with these pens, this is just your standard Bic gel pen. This works great. I also have this hybrid Technica pen. This guy is pretty nice. He's a ballpoint pen at the top there. Very cheap. And then we have these Faber-Castell Pitt Artist pens. So I have like a small pen, a medium, a fine, and then a brush tip as well. So any of these will work. And then occasionally you'll see my cat walk across the screen, so I apologize if she doesn't. And then, like I said, this particular sketchbook that I have here can handle watercolor, it can handle graphite, it can handle ink really well. If you're interested in it and you want to purchase it before they run out, it is B paper. It's an Aqua B pen or Aqua B paper. I believe the B Foundation Company has stopped creating these, so if you're interested in getting a small sketchbook, feel free. They're a little more expensive because they're on the heavyweight side. And for those of you that were asking about weight or figuring out where it states it, you can actually see it 93 pound right here. So that tells you the weight of the paper. And this can handle acrylic, wet ink, watercolor, all that kind of stuff. And that's really all you need supply-wise. So moving on, we're going to go ahead and dive right into our first topic for today. And that is going to be blind contour drawings. So first and foremost, I wanted to ask you guys, what is a blind contour drawing? And have you ever created one before? Okay, so Cheyenne, you've done a blind contour. Uh, have the rest of you, have you guys ever tried blind contour before? Or is this your first time? Okay, so many of you may not know what a blind contour drawing is or really nervous to respond, but don't worry, it's okay. So basically, a blind contour drawing is a type of drawing exercise. It's basically where an artist draws the contour or the outline of the object without physically looking at the paper that they're drawing on. So basically, their eyes are fixated on the object and not on the paper. This is an artistic technique that was introduced by Kimon Nicolaides in the book called The Natural Way to Draw, and it ended up becoming very popularized in the book The New Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain. Both books are fantastic if you are a book nerd and want to read about drawing too. These two books are fantastic. I encourage you to look them up and take a look at them. So what does this technique do? The technique requires the artist or the student, for instance, you guys, to fix their eyes on the object of the model or the outline of the object or model, and then track the edge of the model or object with their eyes while simultaneously drawing the contour very slowly in a steady, continuous line. So to put it in layman's terms and to make it a little bit simple, look at the object, don't look at the paper, draw as you move your eye. That's the big thing. Whatever direction your eye is going, that's where you're drawing. So in a blind contour drawing, you should avoid lifting your pen or pencil from the paper or looking at your paper. This is hard to do. So there are some techniques that would help you in not looking at your work. So one of the techniques that you could do is you could have your paper ready to go, your pencil ready to go, or your pen, and you just have your object completely on the opposite side of whatever hand you're drawing, and you turn your body and you just draw as you do the object. The other technique that you could do is skip a page. Let's say you have your paper landscape, skip a page, and just cover your hand and then draw that way and avoid looking at the paper. That way it's kind of like a surprise in the end. Okay, so there's a couple different ways that you could get creative with it. So why do artists use this technique? What's the point? This technique is a useful exercise because it does teach you to observe your subject matter in every detail while you draw. This is something that many artists use to practice every day and to train their eye and to see the object. When I say see and look at the object, I don't mean, okay, here's my bottle of water. Let me just pop my camera here. Here's my bottle of water. I'm looking at my bottle of water. Don't just look at it. Notice the curved edges. Notice the highlights and shadows of the rubber. Which direction does one line go compared to the other? How many detailed lines can you see? What about in here? That's what you're looking for. You're learning how to look at the object and follow the exact outline of the object. And it does train you to look at things. So that way, when you end up start creating more of your own drawings, landscapes, portraits, still lifes, even abstract work, requires you to possibly look at some things and understand what you're looking at. And that's the whole point of this type of drawing, is it trains our eye to look at something, not just because we're looking at it, but because we want to notice the details of it. So the first thing that I wanted to have you guys do is take a look at this contemporary artist, Ian Skolarski. Ian Skolarski is an artist that works in blind contour. That is his style in art. His newest work can be seen at the Wyndham 45 and the Bernick Hotel in New York City. His surfing shirt collaboration with Komodo Square in South Korea also made Gundam style sort of like popularized. So here is what his statement is all about. Blind contour refers to the method of drawing in which an artist draws a line and never looks at the paper. It takes what one sees with one's eye and with study allows the hand to trace the image from one's brain. I pursue this method because of the ways it captures the essence of my subject. The contours I draw with a pen create a sense of rhythm and movement, which are two different types of principles of art, while capturing the essence and character of the subject in a very intimate manner. I am experimenting with introducing sculptural forms into my work by projecting drawings onto a large canvas, vectorizing them, and then using if I can speak today, using plexiglass, cut vinyl, and 3D printing. My art simply shows that there aren't any wrongs. It's the enjoyment of figuring out how to get from point A to point B with one line without looking and creating what you see. So here are two examples. This is a portraiture that he has done of someone, and then this is a drawing of a plant that he has done. And they are contour, specifically blind contour. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch a small video of him, and it's a really interesting video. So I'll go ahead and show that to you guys now.
My name's Ian Skolarski, and I'm an artist in blind contour. It's one line without looking at the paper. I'm here at Cool Hunting to draw Otis. Good job, Otis. So it becomes kind of abstract. Sometimes you miss an eye, sometimes you miss a lip or a limb or something like that. But that's kind of the whole thing. You have to concentrate and look at your subject. Okay, and that's what it turned out to be. After the single line is done, what I do is I go outside the perimeter and I do a thick outline. And as you can see, his eye kind of came over here, but some people will think that's the eye.
Go ahead, Sophia.
That thing and then stamp it on there.
Yeah, so that's an interesting point. So that is basically like a wax stick. Have you guys ever seen like maybe in old movies or movies that depict like revolutionary times where they have like the wax dripping on the envelope and then sealing it, putting a stamp on there? That's basically what that is. It's a wax seal. So he has a little carved like wooden or ceramic piece that is his signature, or maybe like a an image that represents him, and that's how he signs some of his work. He not only signs it with his name, but he also puts the stamp on it. So again, I encourage you guys to explore his website a little bit. I know this doesn't have the link on there, but I believe in Buzz under week 1, I did include his website. You can also just type in Google Ian Skolarski and you'll find his work in there. But I encourage you guys to explore it. It's very interesting. So, blind contour and pop culture. So, not only is blind contour a contemporary artist technique that can be used for exercise, as well as being elevated to a fine art genre, where you can display artwork in galleries and sell them, but you can also see it in pop culture. Blind contour has been used on television. The next video that we're going to see is going to show Taylor Swift and Jimmy Fallon drawing each other with blind contour. So I want you guys to kind of see it and notice who takes their time, um, and who does really well versus who doesn't quite get it. It's interesting to watch, really.
I do feel this bond and I think honestly, I feel bad for your pal here, but I mean,
a lot of people do.
We could, yeah. I mean, just look at her. Just look at her. Yeah, you feel bad for her. Yeah. And no, I mean, she's obviously gorgeous, but you do this thing, and there's like a best friend test, where you guys get 2 blank pieces of paper and a pen, and you draw each other. You have 20 seconds. You're not allowed to look down.
Yeah, we did that for Vogue.com. It was like a video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, let's test this out. Let's test the waters. I mean, we know each other. You're getting studying right now. I have a pen.
It's time.
Here's it go. All right, it's a pen and paper right there.
Okay.
All right, so here we go. I'm starting here. Wait, so we have 20 seconds on the clock.
You can't look down.
Can't look down at the thing.
Yeah, starting
All right, ready?
now.
Starting now, go. I saw you draw a big face already. I saw you draw a big face.
Oh, God, no.
Oh, did you look down?
No.
Wait, now you're looking up, so now I'm going to draw. All right. Let me see your drawing of me. That's really good.
I did the hearts so that no matter how badly I did the face, it would redeem my...
You don't tell me that. You keep that a secret to yourself. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Here's... It's not bad. Here's my drawing of you.
Oh.
Not bad.
Artistic. Very artistic.
Thank you, artistic.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
So as you can see, I think both of them, if you watched really closely, I think both of them did. I mean, obviously Taylor Swift lifted her pen off of the paper. He tried not to, but he ended up doing it a couple times. However, it's interesting to see what their reactions were, where one was more towards like the actual contour side of things, and the other one was just kind of like, okay, I'm just drawing you. So it's really interesting on the way each one took it. Whereas I feel like with Jimmy Fallon, his is a little more close to how blind contour would really look like. So the next video that I'm going to show you guys, as well as it'll follow up with a demonstration by me, is how to approach your contour drawing. Okay, so we're going to take a look at that. And this video really kind of explains it. And I'll just reiterate with us practicing. So as the video plays, I want you guys to kind of write down sort of the steps, something to kind of make you guys remember how to do a blind contour drawing.
Before I begin to draw, let me first walk you through the process. The small blue dot represents the path of your eye. As your eye slowly traces along the contours of your subject, you will do your best to mimic its movements with your pen or pencil onto your paper. You might find it helpful to close one eye while you do this. As you can see, I've chosen to draw my hand, but you can draw anything you like using this technique. Hands happen to be a great subject for contour drawings because they have a multitude of lines. Luckily, you don't have to draw every single line. It'll be up to you to choose which lines to include in your drawing. Essentially, contour lines are the outlines of any shape. And in this case, contours will be outlines, wrinkles, fingernails, and palm lines. Whenever several lines meet, you will have to decide which direction to take. It doesn't really matter which line you draw first. You can simply draw the skipped line later by coming back to it from another direction, or just omit it entirely from your drawing. If you come to a dead end, simply retrace over the line you just drew, or draw an imaginary line to get back to where you want to be. Keep constant contact with your paper, and don't lift your pen or pencil off the page until you are completely done with your drawing. Ultimately, the purpose of blind contour is to exercise your hand-eye coordination. So make sure that your eye is always looking at your subject matter and never at your paper while you draw. That's why it's called a blind contour. I even like to turn my back to the page, as this helps me resist the temptation to sneak a peek. Because you are drawing blind, the finished product tends to look very quirky and abstract, and this is completely normal. Remember that the purpose of blind contour is to train your hand to copy the movements of your eye, not to make a perfect drawing. So, of course, I haven't looked at my drawing this entire time, and I'm very curious to see how I've done. Hey, that's pretty good. Okay, now it's your turn.
Okay, so what I'd like for you guys to do is I want you to find an object, any kind of object, near you, whatever that object may be. When you have that object, give me a thumbs up. It could be your shoe, it could be a textbook, it could be another pencil, a scissors, your dinner plate, a fork. Just waiting on Sophia, and I'm probably going to say your name wrong. Is it Zara? Is that how you say it? Okay, perfect. So my object is going to be my Nintendo Switch. Okay. So with that, I want you to draw in your sketchbook a relatively big square or rectangle, whatever works best for you. And I'm going to put my Switch off to the side here. And then once you have your big square or rectangle, you're going to kind of look at the object first. I want you guys to trace whatever object you have, trace it through from one point to another point. Slowly look at the details. Find where the lines go. Figure out, okay, when I draw this, what am I going to draw? How am I going to draw it? Once you are ready and you've gone through it, this is where you're going to start. So I'm going to have you guys pause by looking at your object and take a look at the screen here. So I'm going to start my drawing relatively within this corner. So you guys kind of know what the switch looks like, right? It's long and rectangular and it has a couple knobs on either side, right? So I'm going to start it here. And I'm going to follow all the way down to the other side. And I'm going to start it right here and I'm not going to look. Okay? And just for time purposes, I'm going to move just a little bit quicker. But what I would like for you guys to do is take your time when you do end up drawing your object. And then I'm going to draw the screen. I still haven't looked at my paper. I have no idea what it looks like. It's probably really funny looking. And then I'm done. So it's kinda like the Switch, a little bit, right? I mean, this area may be a little bit funky, and same with this area, but aside from that, I mean, it's not bad. I was looking, I was watching. You could see where I ended up miscalculating some of my bends a little bit, but it's really interesting to watch, especially after you're done drawing. It looks to you like every time you play Cuphead? Yeah. Cuphead's kind of like that, though. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to draw the object in front of you. I know some of you said you're already done. Try drawing it again. This time go a little bit slower. I'll give you guys a couple minutes. So if you do need a distraction, so you're not really looking at the paper, or maybe you know what your object is looking like or something like that, if you want to sneak a peek onto the camera and on to the computer screen, I gave you two different examples of the blind contour drawings that I did a couple weeks ago. So the top one is a mug on a table, and then the bottom one is my clothes folded on my dresser. So I did want to show you guys that I did do a couple other ones just to show you what it looks like. But continue drawing. Again, I'll give you guys a couple minutes here. When you're done, if you want to give me a green check mark, that's perfect. Okay, so Cheyenne, you're done. Sophia, you're finished. Again, is it Zara? Is that how you would say it? Like Laura, but Zara? Okay, perfect. Because my name's Laura. So if I say Laura and I make it into Zara, then I'm saying it right. Got it. Sorry. So just waiting on the siblings here. You guys can let me know whenever you're ready. Or cousins. Gotcha. So it's like Zara. Yeah, like Zara. Except the H is silent, basically. Okay, perfect. So while we're waiting here for the last few, if you want to grab a different object and practice that, feel free. And then I did want to ask if any of you that happen to have a webcam possibly are able to share what they did or want to describe what it looks like. Feel free to either type it in the chat or, like I said, if you want to show it on a camera, I can give you guys the camera privileges here. Yeah, you can definitely watercolor yours. You can take color pencils and start coloring it if you want to. Anything that you want to do with your contour. You drew your camera? Ah, a fan drawing of Cuphead. Yes, you could even do that if you wanted to. Does anybody want to hop on the camera and show? Okay. You should be able to. Let me just make sure. I don't have webcams disabled, so I think you guys should have access to it. Ah, they're still disabled. Okay, hang on. Let me take a look here. Um, yeah, that's the one thing that I need to figure out is how to make sure everybody can do a camera. Sorry, give me a minute while I try and figure this out. I do apologize. Yeah, no, that's perfectly fine. If you want to share yours next time, that's fine. If I'm not able to figure this out, which I think that's what's going to happen, that's fine. You guys can actually upload your images to Artsonia if you would like. You can definitely do that as well. But let me see if I can't figure this out. I might not be able to figure this out in time. Okay, I may have to look this up for another time. I don't think I can figure this out before class is over, and I don't want to take too much time. So I apologize. But if you guys are able to upload it to Artsonia, I would love to see what it looks like. Actually, are you guys able to use the whiteboard by chance? And maybe take a picture with your webcam and put it on here? I don't know if that's a possibility. No. Oh, I'm so sad. Maybe screen share? Here, I'm gonna unlock screen share for everybody. That might work. All right, I've unlocked everyone, I think, from the screen sharing. So if that doesn't work, then I don't know what will. Hang on. Let me take a look. There's whiteboard. Whiteboard's unlocked for you. Screen share, unlocked. Okay. Well, either way. I mean, I tried. I'm sorry, guys. I'll have to read up on it. This is only like my 4th time and first time ever having people with cameras, and yeah, we'll figure it out. Don't worry. It's like the first of the school year all over again, right? So here is what I would like for you guys to do here moving forward. So I want you guys to take the opportunity to draw a few objects from yourself. So let me see if I can't find my little, I may not have it on here. But what I want you guys to do is I want you to create 3 different small, it doesn't have to be big pages or anything like that, but 3 small contour drawings, blind contour drawings. I want you to draw your hand. It can be holding something or it could be by itself. It could be in a fist. It could be laid out flat. What I don't want you guys to do is trace your hand. Yes. Let me see. I didn't have a password for this. So if it's asking for a password, I don't know. Unless you're asking for the class code for Artsonia. If you're asking for that, I can pull that up. Yes? Okay. Hang on one second. Let me pull up. There's the access code. It is that NK. Ooh, there it is. NKNM-RWKY. Yes, you guys can share. I think I unlocked it for everybody, but I'm not quite sure if it needs to be on screen sharing for panel 2. Like I said, I've never done this before, so. Okay, so it is on screen sharing. And I think you all, yes, you guys can screen share. Oh, maybe I have to unlock one person at a time. So, I have Payton unlocked. Okay, let me do Cheyenne first, and then we'll just go down in order. So I'll do Cheyenne first. So you should have it unlocked now. Haha! Excellent! I love it. It looks so cute. And then I'll go down to Payton. So Payton, you're good to go. Okay. So the main thing with this one, just remember that, see where your circles are? You want to make sure that you leave your pencil on the paper the whole time. So I should see a line connecting from one of the edges to the circles. See what I mean? So if you look at mine really quick here, let me see here. So you can see that I have like the lines connected. So it's not just circles, but I circled it and then did a line. So just remember, as you're drawing, the goal is to not lift your pencil or pen off the paper. You want to keep it on contact the whole time. Anybody else want to share? Rhiannon, did you want to share? Oh, you didn't take a picture. Okay. Sophia, Zara. No? Oh, you did take a picture. Okay. Let me get the screen shared up for you. There you go. Okay, just let me know when you guys are ready. I'm gonna pop back into the presentation real quick here just to talk about the assignment. So, again, I want you guys to work on 3 drawings. One of your hand, one being a portrait of yourself, so you're gonna be standing or sitting in front of a mirror. Or if you have a smartphone and have your camera on, you can use that as well. And then at the 3rd drawing, I want you to combine both of them together. So I want you to draw your hand and your face on top of each other. Okay? So you can do your face first and then your hand, then your face. You could be leaning with your hand next to your face, whatever you want to do. And then I want you guys to submit your drawings into Art Sonia. So you could do all 3 of them on one page. You could do each individual one on each single page. It's really up to you. I want you guys to try and have this done by next week. Okay? So you'll have a whole week. And really don't put too much effort into it. It's just meant to be kind of like an exercise. Okay? All right, let me go back to the screen sharing here. And you still have it, so you're good. Rhiannon, you can share yours. Okay, perfect. So you were obviously looking at possibly something. Again, just like with Peyton, just make sure that you are keeping your pencil on the paper at all times. That's the big thing, because I saw the smiley face and the carrot for the nose. So just make sure that you're keeping the pen right on it. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. Just make sure as you go through, you're keeping it contact with the paper. That's the big thing. Big takeaway. And then Sophia, did you wanna share as well? Okay, you got screen sharing.
Alright. I think now you can see my screen.
Yep.
Alright. So this is what I did. This one's of a chair. This one is of a lamp. And this one is a cup with my paintbrushes in it. And dirty watercolor water. That I was currently using.
I think it's not showing the full screen. I see the little pop-up bubble, but that's all I saw. I mean, I could kind of see what it was.
I just said alert, screen sharing stops.
Huh. Well, I'm not quite sure. But I did see the small little picture of it. I don't know if anybody else saw it, but it looked really interesting just to see, especially since it looks like you colored it, I believe, right? You colored all
I
three?
did watercolor. If you want, I can paste it on the board, so it might be easier for you to see it.
I don't know if my screen maybe just froze.
I can paste it on the board if you can't see it.
Sure.
Let me stop screen sharing. Stop sharing. It won't let me paste for some reason.
Oh, no. That's okay. I mean, like I said, if you're able to upload it onto the...
It says the board is locked. That might be why.
Okay.
I'm trying to paste it on the board.
There we go.
Yep, now it's letting me do it. Okay. It might take a second to load or two.
Sorry, everybody. We're learning. Well, I'm learning today.
Alright, let me try. Not working.
If it doesn't work, I mean, if you're able to upload it onto the Artsonia website, then that's perfect. That way I can see it. I saw that some of us probably saw it. I just saw like the tiniest little thumbnail image of it, and I was like, oh, it looks so adorable. I want to see more. So, but that's perfect. Thank you for sharing. Since it's 7:02, we're actually over our time, so I do apologize. But that is the assignment that I want you guys to do. If you have any questions, feel free to stick around and ask them. Otherwise, you guys are free to go. I hope you have a great week and weekend, and I'll see you guys next Thursday. See you guys.